specific gravity is 1.024. Now that's actually a very good specific gravity to have, but particularly because this is a fish only aquarium, I would tend to run the specific gravity just a little bit lower, but that's a very good level. Now whenever you've got these coral ornaments, it's a really good idea to, every now and then when you notice them covered with algae, to put them in the sun for a day, then flip them around, put them in the sun for a day again, and then hit them with a hose, and you'll be surprised how good they come. Now you want to just keep an eye on the bellies of some of these fish. So we want to make sure they're not just a little bit skinny. So we've got like a little beautiful pencil wrasse looking thing there that's just a tad on the skinny side. But generally the fish look very good. Even these clowns, I could probably do with them being just a little bit fatter. And the main food I'd be wanting to feed these guys would be Spectrum's probiotics and Denichi Color. They're the two main foods that I'd feed, and I'd supplement that with some frozen food as well. But these fish in general are looking very happy. They're looking very good and very interactive. So there's also quite a fair bit of diatom growth. So trying to use phosphate removers wouldn't be a bad thing, because your phosphate removers will also help to remove silicates. And if you use something like ferric iron, their Seachem have got some quite good ferric iron products, and then they will help to remove the silicates, and then removing the silicates will help to reduce the algae. And we do have starfish and snails in here, so we could be putting more scavengers in here potentially. And also we don't want the salinity too low if we've got invertebrates. So this salinity is currently, or specific gravity is 0.024, and if it was a fish only one I would tend to want it just a little bit less than that, but considering there is starfish and snails, then you probably actually want to leave it at 0.024, and I do prefer to lower the salinity when I'm introducing new fish. And I wouldn't be afraid to put more snails and things. The other thing I'd probably try and regularly do in this tank is introduce copepods, because I've found copepods are actually really great for removing a lot of this diatom algae and so forth. So I'd copepod this tank. Our alkalinity, or KH, is almost 10, so it's very good, a little bit on the high side. pH is 7.8. Now the lights have been off, so that's pretty normal, but I'd really rather that just a little bit higher. I'd rather it at 8.4. Phosphate's at 1.2, which is pretty good. Calcium is 510, that's pretty good. I'd prefer a little bit lower, but it doesn't really matter. Magnesium is 1700, a little bit high, but it doesn't really matter. Ammonia and nitrite are basically 0, and nitrate is 50, which for a tank like that is pretty good. So all in all, this water is actually very good. It could just be a little bit better. I would like to feed them just a little bit more, and I would be feeding them predominantly Spectrum's probiotics and Denichi Color. All looking good though. These Red Sea skimmers are particularly good. Now when you go to clean the skimmer, the main thing you're cleaning is the inside of this area here. And what's so good about these Red Sea skimmers, they do have this little blade that allow you to turn it, so you can give the skimmer a bit of a mini clean before you actually have to clean the cup. Now in this case there's quite a fair bit of stuff here, and this stuff smells really bad. Perfect for practical jokes, but basically when your skimmer gets too much crap here, you definitely have to get it out and clean it. But just giving the inside a bit of a clean, even just giving the top a bit of a row with the little blades here, definitely increase how efficient the skimmer is, because it only takes a couple of days of waste building up on the inside of this neck for the skimmer to reduce its performance. You're really wanting to clean the inside there a couple of times a week. Yep, So I've just done a nice water change in here. The roller mat looks nice and clean, just giving the skimmer a bit of a clean. One of the best things you can have on your aquarium is a dosing pump, and having a dosing pump with different colour cords is unbelievably handy, and it's important on a regular basis just to give your bottles a bit of a shake. Just check how much is in each bottle. Some of these bottles are a little bit low, and it's good to have spare bottles too, just to have consistency, because it's really easy to forget your bottle, and then you go to replace it but you don't have any, and having one on hand just to swap over is a really good idea, because often when you think about doing the check, it's not convenient to go down the shop and get a replacement. Also, just be aware that the UV sterilizer in the back there, you want to be replacing that tube about once a year. That's a really easy thing to forget, so make sure that you take a note of that somewhere. So fish are all looking very good.